and welcome to Storytime. I don't know how to pronounce it. I just have 2 question marks there for no reason. I don't know why. Anyway, this story is about running from the police in the forest. Crazy. Yes. And this story starts as many stories do, with 2 young boys trying to roll a joint out of a hollowed-out cigarette. It was a beautiful summer day. Sun was beaming, barely a cloud to be seen, and I was fortunate enough to actually have a friend over for once. Let's call him Reggie. Are people named Reggie anymore? Who fucking wrote this? Who fucking wrote this? Reggie and I were excited to hang out because the other day Reggie told me he swiped some delicious green lettuce of the devilish kind. Marijuana, ganja, weed, even, from his father's stash. So we decided we would get him dropped off with his bike at my place to regroup, of course. After a small journey on our bikes, we ended up at a small gravel pit that dirt bikers and drug dealers like to frequent. A place not open to the public, but is trespassed often. Not just by me and my friends, but plenty. So, I'm not the only one guilty of this. And I'm a child at this point in this story. Well, not a child, or a teenager, little teenager, but whatever. We then tactically hid our bikes in the bushes, and moved on to our joint rolling spot. As we arrived, nothing out of the ordinary happened. We made our shitty joint, and walked off around the gravel pits, and the paths around the gravel pits. Eventually, we started getting paranoid. But before we could learn a serious lesson about smoking weed as delinquent teenagers, our paranoia was confirmed by the loud presence of a vehicle driving near us on another road, path or something somewhere near us. We couldn't see it, but we heard it. So we made a mad dash for the woods, but we were no fools. No fools whatsoever. We stuck together, and I knew these woods like the back of my hand. Besides, we weren't going to let a little car scare us. Besides, we had a second poorly made joint to smoke, and I had a small homemade pipe I made out of old plumbing pipes. That, and I also had a big-ass knife, just in case, if someone tried to kill us. Drug dealers like to frequent these pits. So we don't know who it is. We have no idea who this is. We just hear a vehicle, and we are like, no, we're not supposed to be here anyway. Run. So we did. I had led us through these sneaky paths that I had forged myself, because as a child I like to frequent this place that I was not allowed to go to. It was trespassing, and I still wanted to go to that, because I'm a rebel. God damn it, if I hated authority. Still kinda do. Probably baked into me. I have no idea. Either way, as we kept puffing the pipe and chatting, we came up to a ridge along the edge of the tree line that overlooked a small pond where many pit parties were held, and probably, no doubt, a lot of bodies were dumped in that pond as well. Obviously held down by cinder blocks or rocks of some kind. Lots of rocks around here. Easy place to tie something to someone to and just toss them in, never see them again. Easy. Not that I'm giving suggestions. I'm just saying, no doubt. As a child, that's what I usually thought, and I never wanted to swim in that water. And a lot of people did swim in the water. I don't know what happened to them. They probably died. Never saw them again. Anyway, we followed along the edge of the ridge, and as we lit up the second joint, our last one, to enjoy the view, we were shocked to hear another vehicle close by. Again. Much louder, much closer this time. We turned to see a white SUV with stripes and a light bar, obscured by a couple bushes, flash its cherries at us, cherries meaning the lights, the red and blues, police lights, while someone yelled at us through an opening door, as in they were getting out, and yelling at us. That's all we saw, before out of sheer adrenaline, we took off running back into the goddamn woods, and out of sheer stupidity, I threw my fucking knife. Somewhere. Into the woods. I think it was to my right. I threw it into thicker woods. I just tossed it in there. Kept fucking running. I don't know why I did that. But I fucking did. And at some point, me and Reggie, we got separated. Crazy that. Crazy how that happened. Fools we ended up being. Ended up being fools we did. But while I was looking for escape routes and looking for escape paths, because I know I had forged a few escape paths. I had done this before. I had thought of this in the past. I thought maybe we might get chased out of here by people who might come looking for us, or might be angry at us, or might be trying to kill us. Maybe escape routes would be also preferable, just in case. And I did that. And I found one of mine. I don't think he knew. I don't think Reggie knew where they were, because this was his first time being here. So, he did not know. Regardless, we got separated a little bit, and as I'm running, I could hear more yelling, and the vehicle was driving, looking for us. But then suddenly, I started hearing a dog, a loud dog barking, coming from where the guy was yelling at us and the vehicle was. So, that got my adrenaline going a little bit more, and I started running even like a lot faster, very fast, quite fast. I was dying. Regardless, I ended up going into a tree line, and there was just pretty much an open-ish field next to this tree line, and that's when I stopped to breathe a little bit, and I thought I was pretty far ahead, right? But sure, right. But then off to my right, probably, I don't know, maybe a few meters away, suddenly Reggie came breaking through the tree line, running through, just running, yelling, "They have a dog!" and kept goddamn running, and into that open field. So that's when I just took off, trying to catch up to him. We got back together. We were not separated anymore. And yes, that dog, we run. So anyway, and as we were running, I could still hear the dog, and I could still hear some yelling, but we couldn't hear the vehicle anymore. We don't know where that went. We don't know where it was. I think we got pretty far away from it. There were no other paths or roads near us. We were crossing a couple, but they were not connected to where the vehicle was, so they would have to run or walk, which is, I think, what the dog and guy were doing. If it was just a guy, maybe there was more than one guy. I don't know. We don't know. It was just one SUV kind of type. So we kept running. We just kept going, and we eventually got back to the joint rolling spot and stopped there to take a breather. We couldn't even hear the dog anymore. It was pretty much gone at that point. We thought we made it. We were good. We think we made it. We got pretty far. We made it. We got so far, and it did matter because the yelling died out as well. Long before we could stop hearing the dog, but we could still hear a vehicle. There were still vehicles driving around, but let's be honest. This is a gravel pit that's frequented by multiple trespassers and dirtbaggers all the time. There is always vehicles driving around in this area, so we don't know what it is, but we assume it's obviously probably the police patrolling, looking for us, trying to capture us, because we were obvious criminals, at least in our minds. Obviously, we were the dastardly bastards that weren't supposed to be there, but. So after that, we decided to, talk it up. I told him I threw the knife back there. He called me an idiot, and I said, "I'm sure they didn't find it. I'm sure it's fine. It's all good." And he's like, "They have a dog. How did they not find it?" It's gonna be all fine. It's gonna be all fine. They won't find it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. They don't have that. They don't have my scent, so they don't know what they're looking for there. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine because the dog ain't here, right? We're good. We can't hear it anymore. It's all good. And whatever, we replanned, regrouped, and we ended up deciding we're going to sneak our way back to the bikes. And we did. We snuck our way back to the bikes. No incident, no problem. We were super ninjas. And no one suspected a thing. We grabbed our bikes, but instead of taking the roads back, because we rode our bikes on the roads, a little journey down the roads, and we decided, let's not take the roads. They might patrol the roads. That's where the cars are. That's where the cars live. They live on the roads. So we opted to take tree lines and take open fields. And we don't know why we took open fields. It's kind of stupid, but we took open fields and tree lines to get back to my place. And we did, instead of walking the road again. Yeah, because we didn't want to do that. And doing that all in the hot sun, while paranoid. Not to mention we were tired from running and walking so far. Not to mention. But we ended up making it back to my house. And we ended up chilling out for the rest of the day, playing some video games and looking for other more weed to smoke through the pipe. Just chilling. Then laugh about what happened. Pretty cool. But wait, the story isn't over yet. I got one more sentence at least. I did go back a couple of days later and got my knife back. I found it. It was pretty much right where I thought I threw it. Then I was like, this is where I was when I saw it. This is where I was when I turned around and started running. And this is where I was when I threw it. And so it should be over there. Guess what? I fucking found it. So I did find it, and I guess they didn't find it. So I was right. They didn't need to. They didn't have my scent or something. They had no idea. Dog didn't find it or something. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't find it. Maybe they didn't go back and check where they found us. They just started running after us in that direction. Then when they didn't catch us, they just went back to the vehicle and didn't bother looking over there. That's a possibility. Who fucking knows? Either way, I don't care. They never came back. Never heard a thing about it. So we got away scot-free. We were good. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the time Reggie and I got high in the gravel pits in the forest and ended up getting chased out of there by the police with a dog. I hope you enjoyed this story time video. I haven't done a story time in a while, but I promise more story time. And I like doing story times. It's just hard to figure out which stories I can or cannot or should not explain or post on YouTube. Because some of them are like, I don't know. Is there a statute of limitations on this shit? You know what I mean? Because, like, you're a delinquent teenager, man. I was pretty much a little criminal. I was a little bastard. I was a little piece of shit. I don't do that shit anymore. But, hey, I got a lot of stories about it now. And I don't know if there's statute of limitations on that shit, because I didn't get caught for half of it. There's some parts where I did get caught, but I already told you a couple of those. Or just one of those. I told you how I got arrested. How I got caught right there. I have other stories where I got caught, but, I mean, morally, should I even tell them? Is it something to brag about? Am I even bragging when I'm telling these stories? I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging about being chased by the police out here. It's kind of funny. But, like, I'm not bragging about that. Maybe I shouldn't have run. Maybe they were just checking to see if we were okay, or just gonna say, "Hey, get the hell out of here." But no, we weren't about that. We were smoking weed. This is way before weed was legalized in Canada. I don't think the cops gonna come after me for smoking weed when I was fucking 13, being a little delinquent kid. I don't think they're gonna come after me for that. Besides, that wasn't even my first time. Anyway. Hope you enjoyed this story time video. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Tell me if there's other story times you want to hear. If, you don't know the stories, but tell me if there's more stories. Tell me if you want to hear more stories. That's what I mean. Yes. Tell me if you would like to hear more stories. That would be beautiful. All right. Yes. Goodbye.